All right, my lovely audience, my beautiful audience. So I'm live finally. All right, so I wanted to discuss, I wanted to bring forth this very important and crucial and pivotal topic, that is mental hygiene. Um, Very often we tend to find that in institutions or in schools or in colleges or in society, we tend to talk a lot about mental hygiene. But are we really working on it? Are we really implementing? Are our policies being made in such a way that they purify and they cleanse the mental hygiene and mental hygiene, whether it be of any student? If we talk about the student life, it is so much nowadays. It is so stressful. um, Getting jobs is so much of stress. There's so much of stress in getting jobs because nowadays, obviously, there's a lot of population, especially if I talk about a specific country of ours. There's a lot of population and there's a huge competition, and there's so much of insecurity around, people, and just cutthroat competition. That's what I should use, or rather say, because of which mental problems take its jo- because of which mental problems take place, take birth. Now, we always tend to talk, but we never implement. We never, the policy makers are should take into account these considerations when they are making policies. The age limit also should be increased for competitive examinations. uh, it is only till 30, it should be made much more. That's what I feel, because a lot of competition is there, and a large population, they have to cater to a large population. Now, secondly, what I want to talk about is that when we are talking about the career counseling process, whenever we talk about the career guidance process, now students should take into account not only the ability or the capability, but also his interest. Wherever this child is interested, in whichever field, no matter what, do not take into consideration that your parents are, if your parents are doing did well, or if your sister or brother did well, you will also do well in that particular field. No, everybody is unique, everybody is made differently, right? It might be that you might be coming from a very well off, wherein is officers are there, or ips officers are there, or doctors are there, so there might be pressure on you to take science or a specific subject. Now, because of new education policy or national education policy, rather, uh, we can see that nowadays the scenario has changed a lot, that a child can opt for geography and science, or geography and humanity, psychology together, uh, or home science and psychology, or such subjects. So there is a variation, and there are new subjects that are being introduced nowadays, which earlier did not exist. So now the scenario has changed, and even you know at the graduation level and at the post graduation level, the scenario has changed completely, like completely. Earlier, for instance, if you are talking about teaching job, B.Ed was for 2 years, now it is made for 1 year. Now, because of positive changes, certain positive changes which have been brought because of the new educational policy or the national policy in education, uh, certain amendments have been made. But still, when we talk about mental health is something that has to be looked into. A child tends to feel pressure, and tends to feel pressurized, because of that pressure, either a child tends to become an introvert, or a child tends to become an extrovert in a negative sense. The child will not listen to the teacher, the child will not listen to his parents. He or she, it can be anyone, he or she can go in a wrong direction, can opt for a wrong choice, or can opt for a wrong thing, which one should never opt for. No matter how hard the situation or life tends to become, one should always follow the righteous, the correct path, because that is the path that your parents have always wished for. And God, and whenever I say God, please uh, don't talk about the different gods that we as individuals have bifurcated. We are not talking about there's one supreme power that is governing all of us, right? There's one supreme cosmic power that is governing all of us. It's just that we as human beings have allotted different names to it, to have made it into different sects of religions, different sects of sections. And this, according to me, what I feel is that uh, when I am talking about mental stress, it can happen at any point of time. So uh, if a student is not doing well in a specific subject, it should not be that parents force him or her to do or to go in for that particular subject, because later on that child only will face problem and will not be interested. And if the child will not be interested, then he or she cannot do justice to his or her profession as well. How can you expect, even if he or she is coming from a medical background or from an is background, you cannot expect your child also. Your child might be different, or might be be better at sports, or be better at dance, or maybe better at singing. So you're it obviously scholastic and post scholastic areas, they do matter, but it shouldn't be thrusted upon a child. And a child, we should be sensitive towards not only children but also teachers. Now, talking about teachers, there are several times when several tasks have been tasks are given or allotted to a teacher, which a teacher is shouldn't be supposed to do, you know supposed to be doing it. So that again creates a kind of a mental trauma or mental anxiety in a person, or in an individual. So I'm sure that all the teachers out there who are watching this video, or all the students out there who are watching this video, might be able to relate, because then their focus or their attention span reduces. If that child is taking a particular subject in order to just show that I can do it, I belong to this particular family and I just want to do it, it 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 is not possible for that particular child to do it just because he or she wants to show there should be his or her interest also in that particular subject. And uh, because I belong, and I had taken humanities out of my own passion, out of my own interest. I had tried science also for a certain limited period of time, but I realized that okay, my I'll be able to do better in humanities, and that's why I opted for humanities. And I'm so glad, I'm so proud that today, because after having taught so many children, in fact I have always taught uh, the students of I've always taught science students, uh, from my first school to second school to third school. I've always been teaching, I've always got the science section to teach as a PGT. So being the PGT in all the three schools, and having taught science students, I I wonder that these there are certain institutions, coaching institutions, they tend to make a lot of money out of, they tend to grab money out of a lot of students. They don't focus, they don't focus on all the children, but they grab money, they fetch money, they try to take out, you know, money from the pockets of the students. And again there's a pressure of going to the coaching, of going to this, of going to school, of of doing well, at of studying, of completing homework, of completing the tasks, assignments. So, and they are now using technology more. So now chat gpt has come. So when you start using technology more, it actually tends to hamper your performance. In fact, students should develop the habit of writing. Memorization is something that we should focus on. So it's something that we as a society should focus on. And because memorization, through memorization one would be able to memorize things. But you know putting pressure on someone, whether it be a student or a teacher, is not something that is expected, or rather I should say should be done, because nobody can work under pressure. If you want some work to be done, if you want uh, some kind of some kind of uh, performance, good performance, a fantastic performance or a fabulous performance, it depends. If you want good performance, then you can put some stress. If you want a fantastic or fabulous performance, or a beautiful outcome, or uh, an exquisite performance, then what you need to do is that then what you need to do is you can't put that individual under so much of pressure. You need to ease situations up. Nowadays what teachers, what not teachers, what some people are doing is that in order to showcase uh, themselves as important individuals, they tend to make things complicated. Now ai has come. So things tend to become complicated. So instead of, earlier in ancient times, what used to happen was that people used to make things easier for students, for learners. Now what's happening is, what's going wrong is that they are trying to make things difficult. And in that process, children and learners are also learning the same thing, that okay, for achieving success I also need to show off, I also need to make things difficult, I also need to act like this, I also need to model this behavior. That's the thing that is going wrong on our part, right? So you don't need to show off. When you don't need to show off, you don't need to say that your subject is better than any other subject. You can't see, like for a certain period it was considered that science is better than humanities. Still I don't know why this notion is there. But you know uh, you cannot pinpoint and say that or dancing is better than singing, or singing is better than dancing, or cricket is better than this. You can't label such things. It depends on the interest of the individual, what the individual wants, right? And when we are talking about the students, what students want, let them decide. Let them, you know why are we uh, depending so much on technology nowadays? Why are we depending so much on technology? They have literally, even our generation, even me, I have become dependent on technology now. So for everything you just tend to go on your desktop or laptop or phone, and you tend to search instead of searching. You tend to search, and then you tend to basically your eyesight, and this habit at a very young age children have adopted of taking selfies, of taking pictures, which is actually, not good for their health, not good for their eyes, which is draining their eyes. So such young children, tender children are wearing spectacles. Even I started wearing spectacles at a very tender age, although I did not, I did not, uh, although I did not watch much. I just watched television could, harm so much. You can really well imagine how harmful these gadgets such as laptop or mobile would be. But nowadays what we tend to do is just watch, just scroll through this Insta, scroll through Facebook, scroll through YouTube, scroll through everything, because we have become so reliant. India needs to become independent now. India as a nation, what I feel is that, we need to become so bold and confident that we need to start speaking our minds. Because we can't speak our minds, we tend to become frustrated. That frustration, you know keeps on taking different forms, and then that frustration comes out in some form or the other. Now what we as a nation should be able to do is, should be able to speak our minds and should be able to move forward, move ahead. We should see who is right, who is wrong, not according to uh, only us, but according to our nation as well. Seeing good for the nation as well, because we are nowadays thinking about only ourselves becoming richer, rich, and not focusing on the nation. We should focus on developing our nation. We have to take our nation forward. We have to step forward. India, people should respect India, because India is a nation which deserves a lot of reverence, which deserves a lot of respect. And why does it deserve respect? Because we have given to the world, we have given yoga to the world. We have Bharatnatyam. I'm also a Bharatnatyam classical dancer. I know the importance of Sanskrit language. I know the importance of Sanskrit mudras. I know uh, the importance of, you know the importance of dancing. How how by remaining physically fit, you can actually, by remaining active, how can you remain physically fit? So you have, if you have to, you know do away with the negative thoughts, or with the insults, or with the words that you didn't like somebody have spoken to you. If you have to do away with all that, you have to have confidence in yourself. You have to have the charisma. You have to have that uh, inner power in you, that you can do better, and you will definitely do better. And you will not only do better for you, but you will do better for the nation as a whole, right? So we are supposed to take the lead now, because we are the future of this nation. So we have to take the lead, we have to take the charge. And in order to stay fit mentally, we have to stay fit physically. That's the thing. And most often, what in while we are doing our job, or while we are studying, we are made to sit sedentary. And why, even if we are told to stand, like teachers as teachers, we have to stand and teach you. And there was a certain rule or norm that you can't sit, which is a stupid rule and norm, that you can't sit. Why can't teachers sit? Teachers are teaching, teachers are doing their duty, teachers are the facilitators, teachers are the ones uh, who are creating the future. Teachers are the architects of the future. Teachers are the makers of the future. Why are you telling teachers not to sit? Why are the rules coming uh, from from uh, from the government or from whosoever, um, that teachers can't sit? Teachers should be allowed to sit. Teachers shouldn't be in any fear or phobia of not sitting or of not, teachers in fact should be given that much of confidence and leverage wherein they can handle students. Now the power lies in the hands of students. That's why they are becoming so uh, in ill mannered, and that's why their mental health is also suffering. If teachers would have been given the confidence, if teachers would have been given the kind of confidence, and that they could scold a child, or they could, you know uh, counsel a child, then the things would have been different, right? So a child has to keep in mind that if the teacher is telling him or her something, then it's for the good of that particular child only. It's not something, the teacher doesn't have to, you know doesn't have any role in it. The teacher will not benefit out of anything. The teacher will only benefit when she sees that her children are doing well in their lives. That's the way the teacher will be able to gain her happiness. That's what I believe in. And yeah, I think I have made a very long video. So for now, this is it. This is Sukriti Joshi signing off. These were some of my thoughts, wherein we as a society need to, work together, and we need to work together so that we reduce stress instead of increasing the pressure, or instead of increasing the stress, whether it be on students or whether it be on teachers or anyone else, in MNCs or any anywhere. So uh, pressure should be reduced. In fact, students or teachers should be given time wherein they can play, they can do their physical activities, they can go in for walks, right? So these things should be kept in the mind of the employers. These things should be kept in the mind of the employers. The system should undergo a major shift now. A paradigm shift is needed for the system, especially for the education system, to go, to think, to ponder over certain things, certain aspects. Clear? So this is Sakil Joshi signing off. Bye bye. See you, my lovely audience. See you next time.